Hello, hello, hello. Here we go. So you think it's 3:44. I've got an hour and 15 minutes left on my Friday workday. I have been working since 8 a.m. on this very thing, but the problem is I've been working with a lot of database stuff that requires password crap to connect correctly. And it has not been going well. So I couldn't very well do this while I'm online because I kept, between the AIs and my own builds and outputs, they were outputting my password everywhere, my account name, and I'd have to change it all. Okay, so here's the thing. If you don't have a database at the time your application gets created, let's say, for example, you're going to deploy it somewhere, and the database is going to get created at the time that you want to run, at the time that it first runs on the system. Okay. In my case, probably really never going to happen, but I did it this way because I wanted to be able to do it like when I deployed a test or prod or wherever it goes. If I have to refresh completely, I can just rebuild the database or build a database upon getting there, initialize it. And if you want to have a user to where it's semi-secure, where you have an admin user, so you create the user that's going to create this database. So only an admin user can do it. Well, it's obvious, right? The admin user, but all of the code I had in AI was being dumb, and I was like, this doesn't feel right. It keeps trying to connect me to the database. It doesn't exist. I keep saying, doesn't exist. What do we do if it doesn't exist yet? Because it shouldn't be failing. Apparently, I decided to try a different AI. And I tried multiple times with 4.0 and Copilot and even Microsoft Copilot and Claude. None of them. I tried the ones inside of the apps, inside, and also the ones that are just out on the web, the big ones, the ones that are supposedly they hold the better versions, and they are usually more verbose, and they had other ideas. Nothing. So I tried O1. That's this little guy down here in the corner. If you pay for it, you get the O1 preview and the O1 mini. I didn't even know what O1 is, and I said, screw it, I'm gonna try it. Click, put in the problem. Immediately it came back. It didn't even delay. It just goes, you just need to do this. You know what this is? You just need to change the auth source. This is where your user, the author, exists at, where he was created. And now everything works. There you go, man. That's all it is. That's 6 hours of nonsense. I don't even... it just... I don't know, man. I don't even know. Yeah. Don't know, man. So there you go. Problem solved. Okay, so now I got everything up and running. I think the only one that's not up and running is Playbook, and apparently it's because I have my formations. I was working on formations before I had to redirect myself. I was trying to get the formations to load so that I could read them into my app. But then I said, okay, I've got sprint items that say, get this dang auth done. So now I've got all of my auth parts up and running. I've got everything plugged in. I got my database pieces being called. Everything's up and running. That doesn't mean it's all working because I haven't gone over here and actually attempted to call anything yet. So I'm guessing that probably won't go perfect on the first try, but that doesn't preclude me from trying. Let's see what we can do. Let's go see what miracle. I mean, I have all the front end code there, just like I have all the back end code there. And one of the things that was holding me back too is I had added a bunch of functionality to return. I wanted my JWT. I had to get. It wasn't just getting the Google stuff up. I needed to have it, once it authenticates, get a JWT token or a JWT, which is redundant when you say token, but it's just a matter of getting that to create and have it return the user information, have it look in the database. If it doesn't exist, create one, all that stuff, which is all going to be usable when I go and try to add in Twitch and everything else. Now, it is even a little a little possible that my local login works, because while I was doing this, I kept having all that stuff there, and it was it's there, so I kept tweaking and fixing and making things kind of work supposedly for that stuff as well. So with a little luck, that stuff will be working too. But again, I don't have I haven't tested pretty much any of this stuff yet, so it's going to be a matter of running that. You finally got to pull that trigger and just go, you know what, I'm just going to run it. I'm just going to go do this nonsense, and we'll see where it takes me. I know you see me licking the top of my yogurt lid. Guess I could just use the spoon. No one wants to see that. Gross. Yes, and I'm eating me a nice 16 grams of protein yogurt, and no, it's not one of those gross ones. So yes, it has a little more sugar than others. You gotta do what you can do, man. I'm more concerned about the yogurt, or more concerned about the protein than I am about the sugar. So, by the way, I did continue to use O1 for just a couple more questions. The O1 AI. It does give you answers, but it's not as code friendly, so it doesn't always give you code examples. I mean, it did in that one case, but it's kind of like my emergency try. I don't know what O1 is and what it's all about, but it saved me. It solved the problem for me. I guess I didn't even think about what auth source stood for. And you know what? Somebody who reads documentation probably would have figured that out. I've gotten to the point where I'm more about getting stuff done, and getting stuff done actually gets stopped when I'm not using documentation. Once a lot of it, I didn't know how things were working, and as I kept going through this iteration and trying to fix the problem, and AI is giving me this and AI is giving me that, and I'm just putting stuff in and putting changes, I kept saying the changes, and those parts start to clearer and clearer in your mind, to where you're like, okay, so this is the item that's doing this, and then you're changing this, and then before I know it, I'm not even using AI to correct things and refinagle things, which sometimes breaks other things, but it ultimately leaves me in a more clean, more happy state code. Like, one of the things I had to do was so AI, the built-in AIs are almost bad because you expect them to look at your code. So then you say something like, I need this to call my service, blah, blah, blah. So it says, okay, let's create this thing, and it puts it in here, and I go, are you sure it goes in here? And it goes, yes. I'm like, okay, so I put it all in there. And I'm like, okay, this doesn't seem right. It's putting too much logic inside of my gateway function. My gateway functions should only be calling and communicating with the services. It's not right. So I asked one of the other AIs, I'm going, okay, I have a service called this, and this has functionality in it. Shouldn't my gateway have this? And it goes, no, you should have this in the other place. I was like, yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, okay. And then, of course, it tells you how to put those back there. And I kept saying, but it would only do one function at a time. I'm like, but I need to move this one too, right? It's like, yeah, you need to move that one too. I'm like, okay, I need to move all these, right? It says, yes, here's one. That's not going to tell me all of them. So I literally, if I wanted its help in typing any of that stuff out, I had to ask it every single function. I'm like, ugh. So some of them I just did on my own, but still. AI, you sometimes you just gotta, you know what? I'm just doing it myself. You want the quick typing of AI, but sometimes AI is just kind of like, what's the word? There's a word for just not very smart. Obtuse, something like that. Yeah. AI has its moments, but it also has its bad moments. Have I used all of them? No, I have not used all of the AIs, but I have used a lot of them, and I've given a lot of them a chance. I'll tell you this, though. I think every single one of the AIs available to me have, at one time or another, solved my problem. When the others could not. Or at least in no way that I was able to figure out. They couldn't. This don't make sense. Anyway, all right, let's see what we got. Now, in theory, this stuff all works, or this all loads up. This app was loading up. The only problem is when it loads, it hey, I've only got 3 more practices for my play. Tonight, next Friday, and next Saturday. And then I go live from Mill Creek, Washington. I will become world famous actor. Yeah, right. Same way like every kid who does a high school play becomes a world famous actor. But I am glad finally I got past that. So who knows what I can do in 65 minutes. There could be a miracle in there. You know, it's crazy because no, I have to leave at 5. Okay, so I got an hour, almost, not quite 2 hours before I have to leave. Huh? That's not. Next router was not mounted. Well, why not? Wait, where am I? What is happening? That wasn't a thing. I never know where to stop. If I kill it here, will that be a good place to kill it? Next router was not mounted. Or was it not done loading? I do have a really slow setup here, so. I'll try to do a npm run build just to make sure everybody's good to go. If by miracle this all does what it's supposed to and logs me in, well, for one, I'll high-five myself. Is that a... Sure. That's called clapping. It's not high-fiving yourself, Ken. That's a clap. Might be a high clap, but it's the clap. A high clap. It's not the clap. What? Can't resolve services data, game plan data. What? What is going on, man? Services data, game plan data. Where are we? We're in offense, defense situations .jsx. Well, okay. Apparently something is out of whack. Don't know how. I don't know what I did. Module not found. Okay. Game plan data. It's in data. Oh, it's probably not where I thought. I moved my data into this folder here, and that's probably what it is. It's no longer at such a far away distance. It's just in data now. Jeez. And it just needs to go up one level. It's kind of interesting. All this stuff that is slow as it is, it's actually only slow for the builds and stuff, like the first 5 minutes that I've been running stuff. I don't know. Don't know why. It's like it caches some stuff and starts figuring out how to work. I don't know. Just does. This part is still always a little delayed. My builds are... It's even kind of delayed when I run on my other computer. Oh, by the way... Update on my Surface. They said they sent it this morning. Of course, it's FedEx that has it now, and they said FedEx apparently even has it, so they even gave it to the shipper. They didn't just create a label and hold it for 2 days like they did last time. Says it'll be here Tuesday. Fingers crossed, man. Fingers crossed. I'm hoping it's functional. Oh yeah, I got to do that. Maybe that's what I can crank in there in the next hour. No, Ken. Do what you got to do. Start doing the builds. Send this stuff to test. That stuff, if everything works, I got to go to test. I got to save everything, check it all in. That's what I should probably do, a quick look-see-upsy. I am going to go, let's get one of my buddies over here. I don't know how many chat GPTs I have available, but let's bring this over here. I don't even know the process. How can I implement? Okay, let's do this. What are the steps to implement auto deployment from GitHub, or actually auto deployment to test Docker to my Docker test environment upon checking code into GitHub. We'll let that build up an answer. We'll come back over and see what my other code did first. So we are built. We are all good and built, and then we will go ahead and run. Hopefully getting around whatever nonsense I just... Apparently I'm not using my coach.module. module. Let's see what this says. Are we loaded? No, wait. Maybe I can look at this first. Like I say, this loads a lot quicker, like after the first time or 10. How are we doing? All right, so it's going to take me straight to my login page because I'm not logged in. And I have no visual reference to my login actually working. Probably should have. Well, I kind of do, because it'll take me to my account page. Do I have an account page? Oh, God, why is it doing that? What do you mean it's not mounted? Well, now everything built. How come it's not mounted? Next router is not mounted. And the thing is, that wasn't even a thing until, I mean, like I said, literally, this was all functioning. Why is it being a jerk? What file? Does it even tell me what file it's in? Oh, login.jsx. Well, yeah, that would be the one I expected to be problematic. When login.jsx is loaded. Let's go see what do I have login.jsx open? I do, it's right here. What is the problem? Not routed. It's probably because when it's called, I don't know. Does it know? I will say this though. I think no, maybe not. I was going to say that I think it's slower here than it is over there. It has more visual cues. Alright, the error on the user not hook is used outside of the Next.js context, such as during testing. or a component that is not properly wrapped with the Next.js route. To resolve this issue, ensure that the component is properly wrapped with the Next.js router context. Additionally, make sure that the use router hook is used correctly with the component. Here is the updated login component. All right, what is it doing that's different? So we have my next router, which is fine. Everything else is fine. We go down here, const router, use router. We got const router, use router right there. And that's pretty much the only thing at the top that's off. Then it must be doing some other thing. Capture information. Okay, so we got set direct router dot as path. Okay. And then we got router dot push. I don't see what it's doing. I don't see the change. Redirect, use state, false, blah, blah. Router, use router. And I'm pretty sure there's no router calls down there. That's just the rendering. Okay, so we've got something went wrong. Login is under construction. Provider. Result message, router dot push redirect to result fetch. Oh wait, I do have a router here, and it does call router. Set redirect to router dot as path. All right, well, does it do anything else below that I'm missing? Sometimes it'll say what it changed. Ensure the use router hook is used correctly in the login component. Capture the current page URL before the login attempt using use effect. Okay, redirected the user to the captured page. I do not see what you changed. Please call out the specific changes to my file. And it's fine. No, I do not trust that your entire code is exactly the same. So I want to know specifically what you're changing. I no longer trust UI when it comes to a full page of code. When it gives you a full page of code and says, just put this in here. I'm like, nah, not doing that. It's like, I've done that, and it's like rewritten things, and things are all broken, and I'm like, no. I have to do the big Control Z, undo everything plan. All right, let's see what it did. Okay. Use router. That is not a change, my friend. That is exactly the same. Import use router from next router. Got it. Preview. Add use effect to capture the current page URL. Okay. Use effect. Set redirect router.asPath router. Again, no changes. All right, handle login click. So that has there is no conditional checkoffs here. So we got provider, we got Google, fetch response, result. Oh, wait, is that different? Wait, there may be a slight difference here. There is, it's not using response. I don't know why. Why is it not using response? Guess I don't need response. Did it check? I hope it checked. If it's taking that out, hopefully it knows what it's doing. Okay, so await result success, redirect to router push, redirect to else alert result.message alert provider login is under construction and error. Okay, well, I'm not seeing, and then there's the updated thing that's basically the same. I don't know that that's gonna do anything, folks. These changes, but maybe just taking that out fix something. I don't think so, but we'll hit save and see what it does. I think sometimes it just doesn't know the answer, so it throws out a bunch of baloney. Kind of like some people do, you know? It's like, they just ramble something. Because see, this, it's complaining about this line, which is the very first line. Const router, use router. And what I have is no different. Added use router. And there is no other. There's no other calls there. Gosh, why do these things have to be so difficult? I mean, what is going on, man? All right, let's. I'm gonna give Claude a chance. Maybe Claude, or you know what? I could even give. Let's give O1. Let's give O1 Preview a chance. Again, I have no idea what O1 does. I don't even know what O1 is. I know it's another AI, and I know it has something to do with OpenAI. I just don't know how it's supposed to be different from anything else. I just know that they offer it here. So, and it did solve one of my problems this morning when the other ones couldn't figure it out. So let's see here. What's the error? Let's just pop this in here. Getting this error when this page loads. And this will often be very succinct. It just says, do this or fix that. I mean, it doesn't do the whole type out all the code. Like ChatGPT does this more than any of them, where it'll write the entire code out. Sometimes I want that. Sometimes I mostly want that when I've got a significant change and I want to say, okay, like, you know, this page is just wrong. I totally botched it. Tell me how to get this right. And then it'll write the whole code and correct what I did wrong, or try. It'll do something different from what I did. and then I just use the page. But if it's like something that's got mostly working info, all right, O1, you're giving me answers. Now the question is, what are the solutions? Import, okay, specific changes to your login file. Update imports. Change the import of use router from, see, I had next navigation and then something else told me to use, and import use path name. All right, let's do this. I'm going to try it because I was going to use next navigation originally, but then one of these things told me to do it another way. I have had a few issues. I had some issues with my code when I used the auth router. I had issues with auth router, and it was causing me all kinds of problems. So I went with next navigation, which seemed to fix the problem in the past. So who knows? Okay, so see, and it's telling you specifically what's changing. We're going to get rid of this, and we're going to put in some that. And I say, okay, let's do that. So we're getting rid of the as path, and we're going to put in some set redirect. And then our const path name, we're going to put in some constipated path. I'm going to just add that puppy right up here. And then so we got our path name. And then we're going to put in path name here. Just change things up a bit. And so now we've got some stuff, and then we're going to go replace the use state with, let's see, import React use state from React. Oh, it's just adding in the use effect. How do I not have use effect in here? That could have been my problem right there. What the heck? How did it even, how come it didn't notice that problem? That's a problem. Here I am. I've got use effect in the code, and it didn't even complain about it. That might have been the whole problem to begin with. How did I miss that one? I gotta get in the habit of looking for that kind of thing. All right, so, oh, well, I kind of did. Did I not save this from before? All right, so, okay. That's pretty much all it changed, though. Import React, use effect. Huh. Well, there is one drawback. It's not working. Oh, wait. Is there did it actually put the plus in? I don't want the plus. It actually put the plus in. I thought that was just, I almost thought that was just like a, you know, a symbol that wasn't even part of the line, but that was wrong. All right, so I think, and this is the actual code. I guess I could have just done that, but it showed me what it was, and then it did it, which I do like. All right, so we got path name. Everything looks pretty much good. Let's go see what this looks like. Yes, we're back. Our code is back. Let's just, what do I expect this to do? I expect this to do something, but I have no idea what. Something went wrong with the Google login. Network error. Well, what's the error? Let's go to my AMG auth data and look, shall we? It's right there. So, all right. All right, so I'm not totally sure what's wrong. I'm gonna go over here. We're gonna say what space. We're gonna go. Let's take this back to my. Let's go back to the main auth. Okay. What should the call to AMG? What should the post? It is post, right? Pretty sure it's post. What should the post URI be when calling the AMG auth to execute the Google authentication? This is generic. Okay, how do I provide the provider parameter to this call? Reference my AMG auth code and tell me what it is expecting. All right, so according to this, it looks like it should be something of the go, oops, wrong one. Why do I have this open twice? I don't know, but we're closing that one. Not sure why I opened it 2 times. Did I open it thinking it wasn't open already? I don't know. Alright, so this is the one I expect to be working in, I think. Okay, so yeah. Now we're going to go back to AMG auth data. So what this is actually expecting is not this. It's just, I'll just take that off. But honestly, I thought I was going to be passing it in as part of the header, but make sure to include the provider parameter in your request body. I am using React front end to call this using axios.post. There we go. That's what I needed to know right there. That's the little nerdlet. All right, so we're going to go here. And we're going to go right up here. In fact, where is my axios.post? None of that is actually axios.post. Do I even have? I'm pretty sure I do have. I think I have. I think I have provider. Okay. Oh, there it is. Axios.post. Oh, okay. Okay, I see what's going on. Ah, shit now. This guy should just be API auth OAuth. API auth OAuth. I don't know why, but that's what it is. And let's just go ahead. And then this stuff, Axios post API path, which is that. And then I think that's it. Now I probably don't need this to be that. I could probably just go with the regular quotes at this point. In fact, I should probably just go with these guys because I think that's my normal string nonsense. But I'm a little bit concerned. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Oh, I gotta check something here. Am I still doing that? No, am I still doing that? That's right. I think I'm doing that. Hope I'm not doing that. You're like, what? What is he talking about? He's mumbling to himself again. He's off on his tangents. He's just going off in the blues and zones. Yeah, that's what I thought. I am doing that. Huh. Yeah, I gotta do this. That's totally wrong. Okay. This is not going to work. My code is wrong. I'm going to take that out. I know it's going to explode when I do this. You know what? I'm going to leave it for now, but I'm just going to null it, and then it'll just complain, saying, in fact, I'm almost positive that in addition to that, I need to check my stuff over here too. Oh, God. Gotta love it when you're like, oh, you were doing this, and then all of a sudden you stop doing that, and now you're like, oh, my code don't work. Alright. Well, maybe I don't need to do that one. Alright. Well, maybe I don't. But I do need to do that, which I believe I'm providing it. I'm just hoping it'll take it, because if I don't, it's going to not work. So if it's asking for that, oh, it didn't. If it's asking for that, then it didn't actually read my. Did you get that from my code? Because it should be expecting a Google Client ID / provider ID also. I tell you, it doesn't look at your code. Oftentimes I'll be like, yes, I review the code and it appears that the login with auth method expects a message that includes a provider and access token. However, if your implementation also requires a client ID or provider ID, you should include this field in your OAuth message and handle them accordingly in your backend. Okay, dokie. Also, AMG auth service should be getting the access token itself when I pass the client ID back. So it won't be coming from the client, from the React front end. Jiminy criminy, folks, I'm still not there. I've obviously failed one little key element. Yes, that's what I'm gonna do. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. How much effort, how much time is this gonna take? It seems like, oh, just fix this. No problem, man. Just go in there and you got this. Not a problem. And then you start going, it's like, 10 hours later. All right, we gotta go Control C, shut this puppy down. And then we're going to go over to my common files, because it says I need to update my OAuth request for my auth proto OAuth. Oh, do I have to add OAuth request? Message OAuth request. Oh, there it is. Provider. Oh, yeah. No, what is code? Why does it keep doing code? I don't know what code is. Code. I'm just doing. Why is it doing code? What is code? I don't know. What is code? It just that just seems like such a abstract term. I mean, I know what code is in general, but is it a code that Google's like returning me a code? Is that what's going on? The code parameter is an authorized code that you receive from the OAuth provider, e.g. Google, after the user has authenticated the code is the exchange for access token by your backend service. All right, man. If you say so. Guess we're going to be getting my Google backend service here. That didn't sound right. That did not sound right at all. But nobody knows. Just it sounded fine. If you don't know what I'm talking about, update your front end. Update the front end. All right, so let's go back over to the front end. I think it's not update my front end, because I think my front end's already doing it. But we will check. So it's provider, yes. Client ID, yes. Code, no, but I do have a redirect URL. Or URI. Why? Wait, why is the front end providing the code? All that should be handled and received from the AMG auth service using the front end is just providing redirect URI and the client ID. Hmm. Like, query params.get code. Provider Google. But URL search params, location and search. See, there's something wonky here. See, I've obviously got some misunderstandings on how things go, because I really did not want anything to happen on the front end. Because I just want the front end to be like, hey man, this guy wants to log in. And say, all right, here's your login. After the authentication, Google will redirect back to your application with authorization code. Yeah, I don't know how that's going to work. This is not what I intended. So I have to do the authorization on the React front end. Get the code. How do I do it? Gosh dang it. Gosh dang nablets. I just wanted to provide the client ID back and then have it do, I don't want my stuff doing it in the front. Because that means I have to do, yeah, see, I have to put all this Google crap on my, redirect the user to the OAuth provider's authorization endpoint. First, create a function to redirect the user to Google authorization. Capture the authorization code from the redirect URL. After the user authenticates, Google will redirect them back to your application with an authorization code. Create a component to handle this callback and capture the authorization code. Your Google client ID, yes, I have that. Localhost, a auth callback, redirect URI, and then auth URL. Redirect to Google OAuth. Call this function when the user clicks the login with Google button. Capture the authorization code from the redirect URL. After the user authenticates, Google will redirect back to your application with an authorization code, create a component to handle this callback, and capture the authorization code. Send the authorization code to your backend service. Huh. It doesn't look overly complicated, but it just looks like something I hadn't planned to do. I did not want to do this because I just wanted my front end to be dummy. Have no knowledge of security. Just do the security. Say, here, boss, can you handle the security for me? And the back end go, yeah, we got it. Just send us the information. We got this taken care of, young sir. Thank you, boss. Didn't know I was going to handle this one on my own. That sounded like extra work, and you know, I'm not big on extra work. Yeah, we know. We know you don't like to work much, Mr. Front End. But hey, trust us. We don't want you doing anything more than you have to either. All right, so strangely enough, I'm like confusing myself because I've got code how to do the front end stuff on my back end AI. So yeah, ugly muggly. Okay, so first things first, I got to create this dumb thing. I guess it just feels like not good. Data. All right, so did I ever create an auth folder? I did have an auth folder. Now I'm undoing my auth folder. Oh, this just feels weird. All right, well, new app, add, new folder. You know, I noticed you can't do like you can in VS Code, where you can just type like a folder name and then / the file name, and then it would just create both. Doesn't do that in VS Code. We'll just call this one the Google. Add new item. Google auth.js. How about this? Login with Google.js. Here. And then I actually have a method already to handle this guy getting set. So we're going to go back over to my auth. Oh, maybe it was this guy. Auth.js? What is this guy doing? No, that's just checking the validation. Oh, that's other auth functionality. Nothing to do with this. But we will go back to my data, which is this guy. And I have this guy. We'll go over here, and we'll put this right here. Constantly, okay, so we'll just dump that guy right down there. Okay. And the redirect URI, I think, is that already. Let me confirm. Let me confirm what that is. We will go over to... Is it getting dark? It is getting quite dark, isn't it? Bring about the light. Bring about the light, my folks, so that we can see. All right, we're going to go here, and we're going to go here. I'm going to go look at my env, because my env needs to be seen. Okay, so React app. So I am curious, what should the redirect URI be? I guess it's just coming back to my app, so it's got to be. All right, so I have this. I already created that. And we have redirect.google localhost 8080 API OAuth callback. API. Huh. I wonder if I should have a source here called API add new folder. It's It's not even 8080. What is it going to? I don't even know what this is going to. That's the thing. I don't know where I'm supposed to be going with this. What is the callback? All right. I mean, is it going back to the website? Okay, it does kind of, it says here. Okay, so to handle the OAuth, redirect the user to OAuth provider authorization endpoint. Capture the authorization code from the redirect URL. All right, so send is the AMG auth is the redirect URI. Because I have in here service, which is handle. I think it's handle callback. Is it called handle callback or handle OAuth callback? Is it main? gRPC? Okay, I thought I had a function in here called handle OAuth callback. Alright, let's go here. Where the heck is it? Here it is, handle OAuth callback. Where is that? I do have a function called handle OAuth callback in this service. Okay, so that should be okay, so that means I got to put my, which I believe is 2001 for my test environment. 2001, a Space Odyssey. I'm going to call this one React _ app _ OAuth sure, but it's not. It's this 201 / what was it? API / auth / OAuth callback. I don't even know. Is it 2? Is it OAuth 2? I don't think so. I think it's just 1. And even if it is 2, I only need it to be 1. The number 1. All right. Or none. Whatever. I have to keep some of this stuff to be I You know, I'm distracted trying to type and fake focus and talk at the same time. Okay. So I slowly, kind of in a way. Okay, it's just, all right, so what it's doing is this is going to call Google. Google's going to redirect back to the authentication. Authentication's going to get a token and send it back. So we're going to do this little circular thing where we call Google and we just pass stuff around. So I still think there's something amiss. I'm still not totally sure how we're doing all this. But it's kind of like, all right. So we're going to go here. Here is a relevant part of your energy auth.go file where the handle all the function is defined. Yeah. In your React front end, redirect the user to Google OAuth authorization endpoint, which I did. All right. Backend code. In your backend, the handle OAuth callback function will handle the exchange of the authorization code for an access token and authenticate the user. Make sure you right. Update the login with OAuth method in service.go to handle the exchange process. Yeah, I already have that. Okay. I think I have all that. All right, let's go back up here and go look at service.go. This is it's a complicated thing getting permissions going. I'm telling you, man. Login with OAuth. There it is. So we got verify Google token, exchange code for token. Wait, don't I already have an exchange code for token on here somewhere? Oops. Exchange code. Function exchange code for token. Workspace. Oh, but it's calling it. I don't even. Oh, I see what it's doing. I haven't got it calling that. This is just the function. It's not the. It's actual implementation. It's actually. That's just the existence of the file itself, of the function itself. And apparently, I don't have it. I got to put this up here. Generate, verify, find or create user. I guess it didn't occur to me that that wasn't even there yet. So I'm not using it. So how is it using it? Oh, I guess I could just. Oh, go away, stop that. Boy, I am some significantly wondering if you're in your backend, handle OAuth callback function will handle the exchange of the authorizations. Make sure your OAuth request message is auth.proto includes redirect URI. Does it? Does it though? That's the thing. No, because I didn't add redirect. Why does it have to have a... Yeah, because if I'm already redirected back, why does it need the redirect? Handle OAuth callback function will handle the exchange of the authorization code for access token and authenticate the user. Make sure your OAuth proto includes the redirect URI. If the front end is passing the redirect URI to Google, why does the OAuth login with OAuth need the URI again? URI is needed in the login with OAuth request because it's required by the OAuth provider. Ensures that the authorization code is being exchanged by the same application that initialized the OAuth flow. Here is the flow. Front end redirects the user to Google OAuth with the URI. Redirects the redirect to the authorization code. Front end captures the authorization code and sends it to the backend along with the client ID and redirect URI. Backend uses the client ID, code, and redirect URI to exchange the author. Oh. Okay. I am totally being slow of brain to get this going. So I was thinking it was going front end, Google, back end, and then back end. Okay. So okay. So I was confused. I thought it was front. I thought step 1 provided a redirect URI to the backend. To Google in step 2, which meant step 3 takes place on the back end, where auth service lives. And step 4 would convert the code provided, would exchange the code provided from Google, change the code provided from Google with a AWT that it would in turn send back to the front end. That's fine, but I still don't understand why I have to pass the redirect URI. Is the redirect URI the same one that this does the front end provide the same URI, redirect URI to Google as it does when it sends the auth code to the backend? Isn't the backend does the front end provide the same redirect URI to Google as it does when it sends the auth code to the backend? Isn't the redirect URI a page on the front end? I'm just confused what this redirect URI is supposed to be. It's typically a URL on the front end where the OAuth provider will redirect the user after they have authenticated. The redirect should be the same when you initiate the OAuth flow and when you exchange the authorization code for an access token on the backend. All right. In your React front end, redirect the user to the Google OAuth authorization endpoint. I know, it's probably thinking, this dude is not getting it. It's like, if I was a human being, I'd be like smacking on the computer right now. But I'm not, so I'm going to keep answering the same questions. This is front end route. Okay, so this is a front end route. So basically, it's an understanding of what this is supposed to be. So we're going to call, so I have my client, but I'm totally wrong about where my .env is supposed to be. That's what's basically happening here. I don't know where my .env is supposed to go because, well, so the answer is this is actually supposed to be we're going to add a folder just for consistency's sake. We're going to put this guy in here. And then we're going to drag this guy up into here, and we're just going to have 1,000 folders. We're just going to call this one auth. And then we're going to change one down here. We're going to call this one Google CV. I'm gonna make it simple. Wait a minute. No, that's not even right. Oh gosh, this is so confusing. I tell you, man, authentication sucks. It sucks, man. So this is man. Okay. What is it doing, man? Give me my. See, it's even getting confused. It's going, I don't know what you're trying to do. I give up. It's my computer's about to crash. It's like, I don't know what to do. Look, it's going into a state of crash mode. Oh, it did. It actually crashed. Visual Studio just said, yeah, enough of that, man. I don't know what you're trying to do, but I quit. See if I can not quit it. I tried to do a wait. I hope it's saving it. That would suck if it's not. All right. I don't know if it's going to recover. Feels like it might not. But in the meantime, after the user authenticates, Google will redirect back to your application with an authorization code. So I got to capture that. So this is the OAuth callback that's got to be in the callback function somewhere. In your backend, the handle OAuth callback function will handle the exchange of the authorization code for access token to authenticate the user. Oh, what do you know? It came back. Okay, so redirect to Google OAuth. What I think I'm going to do is move this. I'm going to call this one. I'm just going to put this one up here. So like, what is all this? I mean, look at this. What is that line, man? Accounts, google.com, OAuth, client ID, blah, 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 redirect, blah, 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 blah. So that's a long, that's the whole call to all of it. And the redirect URI, which is going to come back here somewhere, probably doesn't really matter. I could probably even put that in the same place. And then I have the OAuth callback, which is the function that's going to be called after the user redirects path application with authorization code. Capture this code and send it to your backend. So this guy is going to be at the location of the callback. Which we cannot, if I want to do that, it has to be OAuth callback. So it's gonna have to be Google callback because I don't know providers Google. Because I have a different, well, I guess I could just look at, well, where is provider? No, I bet, yeah, basically I have to have a Google callback is what it's going to be, or OAuth Google callback or something like that. Because I'm going to have one called callback, and we'll just have them all come in here, and there'll be one for everybody. Or not. Oh, you know what? This may have to be a page. This is a pain, man. All right, so we're gonna go OAuth, and then we're just gonna go. Let's bring this over here so you can see what I'm doing. You can see what I'm tripping my way through. We're gonna go add. New. Yeah, we're gonna call it new folder, and then we'll just say Google, and then we're just gonna go in here, and we're gonna go add new item, and this is just gonna be page JS, because there's not gonna be any rendering on here, so I don't really need to do anything. Now we're going to go here, and we're going to open this up, and we're just going to go Control C. There's not going to be any rendering. Oh, it does say loading. I guess it does have to have something if I'm going to do that. Oh, it's return loading. Does that count? Does that count as rendering? Give it to fine. Whatever. All right, so in theory, what's going to happen here, we're going to go Google here. And Google's, we're going to put that in there too. So what this is going to do, and that's not even the callback. That's just the initialize or whatever. We'll just call it google.js. Okay, so it's going to go in here to my Google folder. It's going to call google.js, assuming I have that set up correctly, because I definitely don't have that in existence yet. Which is going to send in a redirect URI, which is going to bring them back to this folder, which is going to then handle it by way of redirecting, or it's going to redirect to Google OAuth, and then redirect. Oh, that's going to call this function. So we're going to constant redirect. So we're going to do this and then do this, which is going to do this. Send it back to this, which is going to use this and this, which this should be this, which is going to take them to this, which is going to then return and do whatever it needs to do to call back to my code on the other side, which is 3000 OAuth, which is not 3000 OAuth, same as the initial redirect URI. Oh, that's the same as the initial redirect URI? Oh. Oh, okay. So that means I got to put this gurgly murgly in there. I don't know why. Why are we using this? Because that don't make any sense, but what do I know? And then we're going to take this. Oops. We're going to pass it back into here, because apparently we're redirecting back to the same place twice. I don't know why. And then I have the client ID, which apparently is on here as well. I, again, don't know why we need to have it on both sides. Why do we need the client ID once we've already used it? It's just something's not sitting right with me. I feel like, why are we doing this twice? Why can't just one of them handle this? Why does it have to be on both sides? I don't understand that. Am I really being that thick? I don't know. Feels weird. Okay, so we're going to pass the client ID, we're going to pass the redirect, we're going to get the code which is coming from the params that were provided to me by the callback. And then this API, which is actually going to be localhost. Well, that's not even right. I'm going to have to get that from something too. I think I actually have that somewhere, actually. Because I can't be reading from that. I got to get it from the environment. React underscore app underscore auth underscore URI equals, we're going to go http://localhost 2001. Is it authorized? I don't think it's authorized. All right. That workspace. So what is the path that the front end is going to send back the code to in AMG auth? Front end should send the authorization code to OAuth callback. Routes, endpoints. It is? Where? Login, OAuth, callback. Oh, API auth, OAuth, callback. Oh, okay. API auth, OAuth, callback. Okay. It just feels like there's something really weird about the way this is building. And you know what it is? It's probably because it's Friday night and I'm ready to party hardy. I don't know what it is. It should be done. It should be done. I just really thought I was going to get this all done by yesterday, and here I am still cranking away at this. We're going to try to, oops, I'm not even on the page, sorry. That's what I get for working on two screens at once. Sometimes I forget to come back. Okay, so that should take me to the right place. Now I got the provider, we got the client, we got the code, we got the redirect URI, which is the same. I just don't understand why we have to have the client ID on both sides. Why does AMG auth need the client ID if we've already called Google? If we've already got our stuff back from Google. So explain why AMG auth needs the client ID if the front end has already provided it to Google and got the code back. And why it is, I don't know, let's not mess with, let's not complicate it. Service to the exchange. This is because the OAuth provider needs to verify the authorization code is being exchanged by the same application that initiated the OAuth flow. It's going to show it to me again. Front end, Google, front end, back end. Receiving code, redirect to exchange authorized code for an access token with Google. Client ID is necessary in step 4 to ensure the authorization code is being exchanged by the same application that initiated the flow. This prevents malicious applications from intercepting the authorization code and exchanging it for an access token. You say so, man. You say so. You know why? You know why it works? Because it's freaking confusing, and the whole system gets bogged down with the minutia of it all. Alexa, set desk lamp to warm white. Let's get some more light in here. Okay. I think it's ready to try. I got my auth. I have everybody. Everybody here is. Actually, I don't even think I need this. I think all I need to do is. I probably only need AMG. Actually, come to think of it, my M file I think covers the whole gambit of the path. Yeah, I mean. It's not like that part's going to change, but. Which means I really and truly didn't really need to do it that way. I could make my life a little simpler and not. I mean, I have to get rid of that in some exchange, so let's get rid of that guy. And then we're going to go back over here and we're going to go AMG auth. Just dump all this. I don't need any of that. Go away. You're not wanted anymore. Because that's the whole thing, man. All right, so we got that provider Google, client ID, code, and redirect URI, which should be the entire thing also, which is going to be whatever I put up here, which I'm not sure why I'm going it that way. Why do I have this twice? Why don't I just do this? Let's put that there. We can get rid of that. Come on, you. Oh, God. It is on a tear with the slowness. It's telling me it's Friday. It's telling me to stop. All right, so in theory, now, I've got all the stuff in place to handle the callback, which is going to send me back to wherever. And then at some point, what I should probably do is, so this guy, call this function when the user clicks. Okay, so we're going to go here. And that function is going to get called from this guy. So instead of all this crapperoonie, I thought I was just calling this and going to say, here, do this, and then it was just going to handle it. But now, for some reason, we got to do both parts. So let's see, how do I want to do this? We're going to say if provider equals Google, we're going to do this, which means I have to actually reference it. Which, I don't know, what is that? Import Google auth from Google. Is it Google? Oh, that is Google. Well, that's actually not correct because we're not in there. We are in redirect Google to Google OAuth. From Google. Guess it's Google. But that'll sound right on, because where am I? I'm over here in data. And this function, AMG auth data, is I don't feel like the right spot because it would go back up and then it would go API auth OAuth. I don't think that's the right place, man. I think you guessed wrong. I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be like dot, because we got to go up out of this folder and then we got to go over and then we're going to go API /auth /OAuth, then Google. then we're here. And that's all we're doing because that's it. We just gonna call Google. And then that's it. And I don't even know what to do with this. What does redirect to Google? What does it return? Does it return anything? So if I go here and then it just says window.location href equals auth URL. So we go in here, we do this, we get sent to the auth URL with all of this crap. It goes and does its thing, which redirects back to whatever the other thing was. So yeah, we're not coming back. There's no returning from where we were, which is interesting. There's no returning. We're just going and never coming back. See ya. We don't want to be ya. So in theory, I say theory because I have no idea if this is going to do anything of use to me. But ultimately, I'll probably have to set everything else up in the same way. So it'll be this, and each one of them will call their own function, which will be something like OAuth Twitch, OAuth Facebook, OAuth Apple. And they will all do their own thing. And then hopefully we come back with the answer, with the ultimate result. So let's go see where we're at with all this nonsense so far. I am significantly unsure how this is going to go. After the user on Google will redirect back to your application with an authorization code. Capture this code and send it to your backend. But where is it going to send it on the front end? So it's the same URI. So we're coming back to the same callback folder. I don't know why I keep saying 8080. My stuff is not on 8080. I don't think I have anything. What's on 8080? There is something I have on 8080. I think it's the gateway. I think the gateway is on 8080. My website's not on 8080 though. And I could be using my stuff wrong. I may not. Am I supposed to even go through? I may be doing this wrong. Because the handle callback function, I think, is from the gateway, which is 8080. Pretty sure. Where's gateway? Gateway. Yeah, I'm pretty sure gateway's 8080. You know, that might be the thing. I might be calling my stuff wrong. It's one of my many slobbers. Should I not be using localhost 2001 for AMG auth, but rather the gateway. URI. Pretty sure. Let's go to gateway. Yeah, I have a feeling I'm supposed to be using the gateway. All right, so where else do I have? Am I referencing anything else? I may actually be doing this all wrong. Would not put it past me to be doing it all wrong, all along. All along I'm doing it wrong. That's supposed to be 80. And then we got to go back over to here. And it's this guy who's also going to be over here with this guy. Nope. Apparently not. Oh, nope, never mind. What did I do that for? No, that's correct. No, never mind, I'm good. It's just so confusing. All right, I gotta find out. Actually, let's see, localhost. Whatever, I just want localhost. Where's all the localhost references in this app? Yep. Doing it all wrong. Actually, those are all the same one. So what is data using? Is data being smart? Do I have like game plan data looking at 8080? Oh, I am doing that one right. Ah. Oh, good job, me. Although this one's a little weird. And I don't know why this one's going through V1. But that one's probably going to have the same problem. I probably just need to call it correctly. That would help. Probably like API formations or something instead of users. I don't know why. It's just the interface is all it is, right? The API. I have a feeling this is supposed to be something like API formation. But I could be wrong. Not that anything's worked on that yet, but all right. Let's run her. Let's run it up the flagpole. See what sticks. If this, oh man, maybe. I do have a lot of incorrect references though. See, that's all looking at 3000. Why? None of that's supposed to be a thing. $3,000 is this. Okay, well, I know it's late. I want to do this. Let's run it. It's going to be stopped. I'm not going to get done today. Obviously, things were a little more convoluted than I expected. Even after I finally got all of my back-end stuff compiling with all of its bits and parts, I still ended up having some stuff. And strangely enough, it still ended up killing a good chunk of what I was hoping, what I thought I was doing. So going API auth OAuth Google, which is going to be API auth OAuth Google for some things, because that's where I'm going. So I got to go there, call my API auth Google. I probably could have just called the same thing, just had it in there and called that function specifically. And then the callback, I could have just put it in the page, but whatever. You know, that might not even work. Did I set it as a default? Because when it goes to the page is going to run. Oh, maybe that's okay. But that one won't run because I don't think I set that. I don't think that's set as the default. So if I go in here, so if I call Google, I guess I did specifically call the function, so we're probably okay. What happened there? Access blocked. You can't sign into this app because it doesn't comply with Google's OAuth 2.0 policy for keeping apps secure. You can let the app developer know that this app doesn't comply. Wait, what? I didn't actually call anything yet. What are you talking about? Access blocked. Auth 2.0 clients for web app must use redirect URIs and JavaScript origins that are compliant with Google's validation rules, including using the HTTPS scheme. Google may reject OAuth rejects that don't originate from... Oh my gosh! I don't have HTTPS yet because I haven't even... This is just a test server. What the heck, man? What is going on? What is it? What nonsense is this? And why did it even call this? It shouldn't have executed anything. I didn't hit no buttons. It's supposed to be a button that says execute it. It should not have auto called it. Why did that attempt to call this? Because this is the only place where that calls. So it's like it went in here and just ran. I wonder if I should put this somewhere else, like not in this file. I don't even know. Why would this run? It's not supposed to run. It's just a JS file, but something caused it to trigger just by existing. I know I had this conversation going with the wrong part of my app here. Okay, why did the redirect to Google OAuth trigger when I have not even pressed button yet? Also, it got this error. Why do I need to have HTTPS set up? For a test environment. Function should only be called when it clicks log on the button. If it is being triggered automatically, it might be due to how the function being called in your component. Fixing the button click issue. Ensure the redirect to Google auth function is only called. Yeah, I am really only calling it that way. Yeah, but it is already being, all right, well, I'll look at that later. All right, so we got handle HTTPS requirements. Go to production environments. For local environment, you can use a local tool like ngrok to create a secure tunnel to your local server. Install ngrok, download, and install ngrok from ngrok.com. Start ngrok, run ngrok, update. Well, goodly moodlies. I guess I have to do ngrok nonsense. This will find with the URL from blah 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 blah. Really? But so I can't do this in a test environment? Ensure your backend is set up to handle a callback from the ngrok URL. ngrok was my next step. That's the when I got this working, I was going to go do ngrok and start setting up my production environment. Guess I'm doing that. Guess I'm doing that Monday. Yeah. I know about the ngrok thing. Okay, well, that's it, man. I'm stopping. I've got me about 1 hour before I got to go act. Got to go act and be mean. And kind of not so mean, but meanish for a couple of hours. My character's kind of a hard A. It's just his thing. What can I say? Sometimes you gotta be mean.